Your car has been blessed by the Momoa tree, I guess.
Yep. Most of the tree has been shedding.
That's putting it politely.
Does a good job of shading, though.
That it does. Also covering the ground, you know. Great for those areas you just want anything there but dirt.
It's cleaned off, so it's not all in the engine bay.
Come on, a few dead leaves and plants and
Flowers?
flowers. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Flowers?
Flowers, yeah. That never hurt it. Never hurt anything. Doesn't hurt engines.
They make a mess, though.
What?
They're pretty trees, but they make a mess.
So what are we doing today?
Today, I am going to attempt to change the fan belt on this thing. And hopefully not leave something else broken. Because the fan belt is pretty well gone. I've also got to do... I'm also going to see if I can't track down the vacuum leak for the transmission.
Well...
Because I'm pretty sure there's a vacuum port I capped when I first got this thing that was missing. And I'm pretty sure it's probably a vacuum line that goes wherever that's causing the problem.
Okay.
So, see if I can figure out where it goes and what line's missing.
Given our track record on these things, my money is that we're going to break something.
Oh, probably.
We're about 50-50 on this.
Why the belt's gotten so bad. We're putting off to get the truck fixed, and I keep having new things break on the tank job, so...
You keep having new things break on you.
True, true.
You broke your hand, then you broke your other hand, and then you twisted your ankle and smashed your knee.
Well, at least the black eye doesn't slow me down from working on the car.
That's true. You gave yourself a black eye.
But the belt, I gotta see if I can't get this to release. Trying to see. Hopefully I can just release it from the back, because there's no way to get to the front.
No.
Now I have fun of trying to find stuff because I still haven't got my right foot back together.
Well, good news is the wall is holding up.
Mm-hmm.
Gorilla Glue will hold a wall down, apparently. Even one you're going to have to knock out eventually.
For the alternator, the bolts, the one on the bottom is a 15 millimeter, and the two on top, the adjuster and the loosener, are 12. So these two are 12, and then there's one back up underneath it that's 15, which I'm going to have to loosen. I'm hoping that's doesn't end badly.
Well, if it does, we're here to rescue you.
Oh.
Or just laugh. One or the other. One of those things will occur, I promise.
What did I do? Grab the wrong one? No, it's the right one. There it is. And the exhaust, the heat shield on the exhaust is hot just after moving it a few hundred feet. Come on. This is going to be the hard part. There's no room. Someone way over tightened this. Alright. Righty, tighty, lefty, loosey. Okay. Alright. Well, I finally got it to loosen. It's towards the fender on the driver's side to loosen, which I was right.
So lefty loosey, righty tighty?
Yeah, and it is correct on that, so. Set toward the fender, 15 millimeter, and I got it loose, and I got the upper loose. So hopefully I can get this to loosen. We'll see. I've loosened this up already, and that's the adjuster. And now I should be able to back this adjuster off, and in theory that'll let go of the belt. In theory.
I mean, if all you're trying to do is get that belt off, we got wire snips in here. I mean, I could take care of that in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, but I gotta get the other one back on.
Oh, there's always a catch.
And it's a serpentine belt. It's not, even though it's not a serpentine system. So I can't just force it on like you could with some of the old V.
Oh, details, details. What do you need that belt for anyway? It ain't like it's cooling the engine or anything.
Yeah, it is cooling the engine. That's been why I'm overheating. It's not turning the power steering. It's not turning the water pump.
Come on, you're overheating because you have no AC.
Probably not turning the alternator, but
you're overheating because you have no AC.
Yes, it moved. So that was it. Someone way over tightened the lower bolt, and that was the biggest issue I was having, and I was worried I'd snap it. But let's get this belt off. This is simple enough because, like I said, it's a serpentine belt, but it doesn't actually serpentine.
Got amazing shots of your hand.
Now, the fun part's going to be getting this off of this fan, because it's off, as you can see, but you have a mechanical fan you got to get it over. So that's going to be the interesting part. Which you'll probably want to shoot from over there, because they're not going to see anything from over here, because I'm trying to get it over the fan now.
Well, I mean, there's a radiator tube in the way, and
just feed it all over one side, slide it out.
If y'all could actually see that, there we go. I finally fixed it.
I can't see it either, so
it's wrapped around the blade. I finally got a position where I can see what you're doing.
Yeah. So this is the hard part, getting it over this fan, because there's no clearance. And there we go. What's left of a belt. As you can see, turned inside out, this is a very gone belt. So.
Bah, I've seen worse.
I have two, but they weren't quite in one piece anymore. Well, 3 pieces anymore. So. But it's hard, it's dried out, it's cracked. It's been in need of replace it for a long time. I just been putting it off because I kept worried. I'm still worried that the alternator's going to be dead when I put it back together. Now I got to get the other belt there. It's in the other room. All right, so apparently this is what that belt's supposed to look like. That's not worn out now, is it? You will see. It's what's listed as the replacement. Now the fun part's going to be getting this one over that fan again.
Although the grooves look different.
They do. But I think it's just the fact that those grooves are so shot, that's why it wasn't holding.
Okay. I mean, dried and cracked, yeah, but it was like they're deeper in that one.
We will see. It's the only belt I can get for it, so.
I just figured it's a case of, hey, this belt will work on it too, we think. We don't want to make another one for that.
Not my choice. A lot of, you get what you can get.
Yeah, especially on vehicles like this.
Now catch that with a fan blade, and then try to feed it over all the fan blades, and then try to do the opposite. Don't do this while the fan's running, unless you want to be nicknamed Stubby.
You got the belt in your hand. Why would the fan be running?
Well, it would be if you're doing it while you're trying to take it off. Don't underestimate the ability of people to be stupid.
If they're trying to take a fan belt off while the fan is running, they're going to learn real quick not to do that. We don't have to warn them of that. I kind of have a pet peeve of the warning, caution, contents hot after heated warnings that we got in this society.
But sometimes it's funny.
Yeah.
Don't do that while the car's running. Okay, I think I've got it all over the fan belt. So now I got to try to feed it over both of the. See, the water pump feeds both the shaft drive down there feeds both for the V-belt for the air conditioning if it would run. Now the hard part is my hand doesn't fit down there. All right.
I was like, is this going to be a situation we need interference?
It might be. Let's see if I can get it this way. I got it kind of started. Now if I can get that one over, and that over that way.
And I promise this is not a hair club for men advertisement.
Not yet anyways.
Yeah.
I keep waiting for you to get me a surprise sponsorship.
Well, I honestly was going to do it, and I kept forgetting.
You got Keeps, you got Hims, you got Men's Club for Men, Hair Club for Men.
I don't even know if
Discount Carpets are us.
I don't know if Hair Club for Men actually you be careful. I will actually find Discount Carpets are us and have them be a sponsor. Just to see you wear a fake rug like a freaking cheap, cheesy 70s leisure suit Larry guy.
I've got to have a convertible first. That was always a joke with that. You get a toupee and a convertible, and then you test your tape.
Well, we ever get a convertible, you're getting a toupee with it.
I got to switch this the other way. Okay.
You got to get a convertible first on this channel. Then we're getting you a toupee. Then you got to wear it whenever you work on the convertible. Hey, Bumblebee. Back off, guy.
How about a purple mohawk wig?
No.
Oh, come on.
No. It's going to be black. Black hair. Brunette, as they say.
But I'm going blonde.
That's the point. That's going to look two-tone like a skunk. And for those of you confused, I mean actual brunette hair. I don't mean a afro wig. I'm not doing that. Like, okay. Just picture a polyester leisure suit, white polyester leisure suit, a la freaking Saturday Night Fever, and
I'm kind of just adjusting it back to where it was. Does that seem to be a good spot? I'll test the tightness. That seems to be pretty good.
How do you test the tightness on a fan belt? For those of us who don't know how to do it.
Just push and pull on it. Make sure on this one, see on a serpentine with a tensioner, you wouldn't worry about it. But with this, with a tightener, you're looking at it, you're making sure it's taut, but not too awful tight. It should still have a little bit of play, but not enough play that you could even get even close to getting it off the pulley.
So about an inch or so?
Not even an inch or so, just a little bit.
Half an inch?
You don't want it shouldn't be so tight that it's putting strain on the pulleys, but it should be tight enough that it's holding tight.
So about half a twist then? Or?
So yeah, you should be able to twist it still, but you shouldn't be, and you should be able to push on it a little bit without pulling any of the pulleys, but it should be firm.
Okay.
That's about right. Like I said, I went and I used where the tensioner was before. This belt should be exactly the same size, so that tensioner should be in the right spot.
Considering we just saw your shoulder and hand moving, could you demonstrate on this one?
Yeah. What it'll be a lot like that.
Okay.
Where it's good and tight, so you pull it tight, and it's that pull tight, but it's not to the point where it's straining on the pulleys, because you don't want to put stress on those pulleys, because that wears them out. Wears out the bearings.
All right, that's just in case y'all didn't know.
That seems about right. Now I gotta tighten these bolts up. Alright, it's all back together, and I've tightened the bolts back up, and belt seems to be a good tension, so now I'm going to start it up and see if the engine explodes.
If the engine explodes, I'm gonna stand back here actually.
Steering again. And there's no squealing, no whining, the belt's not bouncing. So I think that is a good tension for it. It seems to be happy now. Now maybe it won't overheat. Or it will. Who knows? But now that I've got that in, I'm going to cut it. I'm going to see if I can't figure out what vacuum line is supposed to go on this spot. As you can hear, as soon as I pull it off, the engine chokes down. That should be connected to a vacuum line. And the transmission is weird stuff, so I'm guessing it's supposed to go to a vacuum line to the transmission. Now I got to figure out where the disconnect is.
Good luck.
Yeah, I haven't found it yet, and I've had this for 2 years now. At least I've got power steering again.
Yeah.
Which is something else you get into with that. If your power steering starts fading in and out, especially when it's wet, probably need a belt. Even if your belt's in, say you have a belt and you don't see the cracks. You can see this one is very bad. But let's say if it wasn't cracked up, but it's like this, and it still looks like that, you can still have a belt wear out, especially this style, where it gets slick because you don't have proper contact anymore with the pulley. And these belts can get slickened, at which point you still have to replace the belt because you'll start losing accessories. You can lose power steering when it's bogged down, the water pump if it's bogged down, the alternator if that needs to take an extra draw. Anything that puts a little extra stress on the system, it can cause it to slip, and the belt just won't be able to turn it, at least not turn it sufficiently. All right. Okay, well, changing the belt took care of the problem. It's not the water pump, thankfully. I was hoping it wasn't, since it had been supposedly replaced before I bought it. Someone went in and did the tune-up with the timing belt and water pump, supposedly, right before I got it. But I think it was the fan slipping. That belt was so worn that, well, the alternator was probably slipping too, but doesn't have that much power stuff for it to be noticed. But the fan was slipping at low speed, so it wasn't spinning fast enough to cool. And today, I actually sat idling for a good while in the heat, and it stayed at operating temperature, so it's happy now.
All right.
So, and as far as the vacuum leak, I put the plug back on the engine, and I still can't find any place else where there's a vacuum line that's missing a point. So, I don't know. Same for leaks. I was checking leaks, and there's fluid leaking, but everything is full. So I can't figure out where fluid is leaking from. And it's unidentified. It seems to be a mixture of transmission, motor oil, transmission fluid, and I don't know what else.
Hopes
So,
and dreams.
I almost think that there's oil built up somewhere in there that seeps out of a panel or something. I don't know. I cannot find where it's leaking from, though, because nothing is low. Nothing's losing fluid.
What about your windshield fluid reservoir in the back?
It's okay. It's the only one that works. The one in the front doesn't. But it's full of fluid and it's not leaking.
This is weird. I don't know.
I don't know. I have oils coming from where I don't know, and it doesn't leak unless I put it on ramps or put it on a jack. Otherwise, there's no leakage. So maybe there's a vent that's weird, or I don't know. I don't know. It's a mystery. I'll figure it out eventually. Hopefully before something fails, but eventually. But as of right now, I did the belt job and did the oil change, which I still have to figure out how to change the power steering belt because it's in such a place that I can't see where you can adjust it, and I can't see really how to get the belt off without taking way more apart than I want to. But that belt is still functioning. The only time it gives me any issues is when I ford water, and at that point, power steering is normally the least of my concerns.
Fording water is something you do regularly on your job, isn't it?
During the wet season. Right now we're summer, so I won't really need that again till fall, hopefully. So it won't be an issue for a few months.
We hope.
Yeah. And by that time I'll probably need new tires. So. And that's it for this one. And like I said, thankfully that seems to fix the overheating. So.
Yeah. Like, share, and subscribe.
Torment your friends with it.
Yes. Hitting that thumbs up button, sorry to interrupt, hitting that thumbs up button does tell YouTube to send this video to other people. So if you want to really help us out, but you don't want to subscribe, hit the thumbs up. It helps us.
And have a good one.